means that I'm one day closer to you. Oh, honey, Houston. Houston means the last day of the tour and we're through.
Houston, yes-sirree, Bob. What a great song. What a great city. Just one day closer to you. Love that song? Love those words? The melody? I do too. Well, how about this noise? Muslims call it azan. The imposter president, Barack Hussein Soetoro Obama, who pulled off the biggest scam in American history and started this invasion, he said it's the most beautiful sound at sunrise. Sounds like a bull called for a little love, as far as I'm concerned. Here, check these words out. That's it. There they are. If you don't pay attention to this video, you just might have that beautiful sound blasted in your bedroom every morning. Muslims aren't one day away from Houston. They are already there in droves, swarming like locusts all over Texas and the USA. I'm Ranger Sam. I'm a real live nephew of Uncle Sam. Now, I wasn't born on the 4th of July. No, I was born in November, in fact, but we won't mess around with what year I was born. It just don't matter. Now, I'm broadcasting from my office at Austin University. Now, our students come from all over the United States, but they all have one thing in common. They all have their head in the sand. Now, are you one of them? Now, I report directly to the Supreme Commander of the universe. And knowing the dangers that we've got in this country ever since that imposter president started letting them in, we got dangers all over the country, but he wants me to pay special attention to this Texas area. And he wants me to gather all the facts and come up with a video, which is what we're doing right now, I reckon. But he said, I don't want any opinion and no horse donuts either, just plain facts. So here I am, and if you don't pay attention, you just might hear that bull bellowing that you heard earlier. You just might have that bellowing, might waken you up every single morning at sunrise. And then you're going to hear it 4 more times a day, because when they come aboard and they take over, they mount speakers all over the country. And you're going to hear it 4 times a day, like it or not. While most of us are singing about coming to Houston, while the Muslims are already there. Churches are closing. They're building mosques all over the place. They bring with them a belief in a barbaric system of control, where men can have as many wives as their lust desires. When women are slaves, they can be beaten or stoned or worse for failing to cover up their entire body except their eyes. My goodness, what a sin that is. They're like prairie dogs. They multiply and mess up our beautiful landscape. Now here's an attempt of them try to take over at a grand scale. Now, this is an honest rendition of what they're trying to do 40 miles west of Fort Worth. They've acquired 400 acres of land. They're planning on building a city of 1,000 homes, mosque, a community college, Lord knows what else, lots of stores to support the people, I suppose. But the problem is that they don't want to submit and live by our rules or our laws. It's a city exclusively for Muslims. They're calling it Epic City. You might have heard about it in the news. If not, well, you got your head in the sand, so I can understand why you may not have heard about it. But you will. And that's all going to be governed by Sharia law. Now, our great Texas governor, Abbott, is trying to put a halt to that scheme. He signed House Bill 4211, which bans property developments like Epic City. But of course, they're fighting it. They're trying to do the same thing in Plano, Texas, and many other places. They're like locusts, swarming all over. If you know anything at all about history, you know that America is made up of immigrants from all over the world. But they all came here for the reason of becoming American citizens, to live by American laws, to enjoy the benefits of living in the greatest country in all the world. That's called assimilation. But Muslims don't want to do that. They don't want to assimilate. They don't want to become citizens. They want to take over and destroy. And so they're infiltrating any way they can to replace our beloved laws, our beloved country, our beloved everything, especially our beloved Judeo-Christian founded Constitution, and live by that god-awful barbaric thing they call Sharia law. Now, Texas has a governor who's working to stop them, but he needs help, and he can't do it alone. America is beginning to wake up. Leading the pack are two great Texas congressmen, Representative Chip Roy and Representative Keith Self. They are in the news all the time fighting for you. If you haven't heard of them, you have your head in the sand deeper than most. They're doing something about waking up Congress, while most of the people in Congress are sitting on their butt feeding at the public trough, doing nothing but worrying about how to keep their seat. But those two fellows came up with an idea of waking up America. So last December, they launched Sharia Free America Caucus. The name tells you what it's all about. Folks are starting to follow them. As I said, some folks are starting to wake up and follow them. Now, as I record this video, 63 representatives representing 26 states. The last time I checked, there were 50 states, aren't there? So why haven't the reps of the other 24 states joined the caucus? Now the question is, of you folks watching this video, has your state joined? You need to know. If not, call your rep in Washington and also local field office wherever you live and ask them, don't you love America? Don't you want to defend it? Now, another thing you can do is to check to see if there's an Act for America chapter in your neighborhood. The mission of the Act for America is about the same as the caucus, that is, fighting Muslim jihadists and defending our Constitution. Now, I want to be sure that you understand what Act for America is all about. It's not about tearing down, well, never mind. I'm going to read directly from the website just to make sure you understand what the Act for America mission is all about. And I'm reading right now from their mission statement. Act for America's mission statement is to educate, engage, train, and mobilize citizens to ensure the safety and security of Americans against all threats, both foreign and domestic, while preserving civil liberties guaranteed by the U.S. Constitution. Now, isn't that pretty much what the Sharia Free Caucus is all about? I think so. If not, check with the national headquarters of Act for America to find out if there is a chapter near you. Now, this is not just a war for the military. This is a war for everybody. It's a war for you to be fighting, for every American to become a patriot and defend our Constitution. Now, if you think there's some kind of activity going on in your neighborhood that arouses your curiosity, I got that gum flea hug up here, I guess. Anyway, if you think you got something fishy going on in your town, check it out. It might be Muslims trying to sneak their way into your organization, whatever it might be, as I said a little while ago. Your church, your club, whatever club you belong to, they could be infiltrating right now and you won't know about it until after they take over. And don't be afraid to speak up. Muslims and their Sharia law is not a religion, but they get away with hiding behind the First Amendment. It is a political system that governs every aspect of life and demands absolute submission and compliance with the Sharia law under pain. How about this for infiltration? This guy is Islam cleric Zaid Shakir, a former American college professor. You heard that right, American college professor. And he describes the focus of their infiltration as follows. Quote, Islam isn't in America to be equal to any faith. The Quran should be the highest authority in the United States. That means the heck with the Bible, the heck with the Torah, or any other religious book. They are the ones. They're it. Now, on the other hand, his president, Abraham Lincoln, he recognized the dangers of our country. He knew there would be challenges to our way of life, and we shouldn't keep our heads in the sand. This is what he had to say. America will never be destroyed from the outside. If we falter and lose freedoms, it will be because we destroyed ourselves. Did you hear that? We destroyed ourselves. Now make sure you're defending America and not helping to destroy it by your complacency and keeping your head in the sand. I mean, I just as soon like to see everybody get their head out of the sand so I can close the doors on Austin University. But until you do, it's going to keep running all over cyberspace. Now, if you're not interested in what I've said, and you don't give a diddly squat about 1.4 million Americans who gave their lives to protect your freedoms, put your head back in the sand. Or better still, why don't you buy a one-way ticket to Cuba? Because you know, Fidel Castro's baby boy brother, Raul, he'd love to see you, I'm sure. Before I bug on out of here are a few more things you need to do. Number one, buy a Made in America American flag. Be sure it's made in America, not in China or any other place, and display it at your home or business 24/7. Pay attention to the news. Get involved. Research the issues, the candidates. Think for yourself. Make America first decisions. And of course, register and vote in all elections. Be part of President Trump's MAGA, M-A-G-A, MAGA movement. It's not a secret scheme that he's cooked up to become a dictator like the Democrats are saying. It's a movement to do just that. Make America great again. Now, don't you think that's a good idea? If not, there's something wrong with you. Be constantly aware of any activity you suspect may be infiltration by Muslims. If you think it's about time you got off your duff and quit freeloading off the benefits you get by living in the greatest country in the world and want to learn more about these issues, get a copy of the booklet that you see right there, America Under Attack. And this booklet, Lesson Plan and Mock Election. They provide details of information, not very much, they're just a few pages long, details of information your children are not receiving in state-mandated social studies classes. These booklets describe the path that adults and your children need to follow to become patriots and proud of your country. They're all free, and the contact to obtain them appears very soon in this video. Now, I've got a lot of work to do. I've got to check in with the Supreme Commander of the universe before I head on out for San Antonio. But there's a Muslim infiltration going on there too, as we've said. So I got to get on down there and see what I can do to put a stop to that. So I'll see you later. God bless America. And proud of your country.